What's up guys, how's it going, and welcome to another episode here. Today we're going to be talking about Xenoblade Chronicles 3, a game that I've been playing for quite a bit of time. I actually streamed it over on my other channel, and it's been quite an experience. I really didn't know what to expect from this game. I really enjoyed the first game. I didn't really enjoy the second game, so going into the third one I was like, yeah, the story is kind of catching me, but I don't know. And yeah, I played all the way through. I have not done everything. I know a lot of people like to go around and do side quests and do a bunch of stuff, and I really just wanted to kind of soak in the story and everything. I was very sometimes I get really kind of tunnel vision into what's going on with the story and everything, that I'm like, I really don't want to get distracted with the other stuff, even if it may complement more of the story. Even if it does have really good world building and everything, I just kind of want to enjoy the story and kind of go from there, right? If it suits me, then I can definitely always go back and finish the rest of the other side quests and that kind of stuff. That's pretty much how I do open world games these days now. So what is my experience with this game? So I really loved the game. Story wise, I thought that it was pretty strong for the most part. I think the characters really do make this story the way that it is, and it works out super well. They have excellent chemistry with one another. The whole cast of the 6 main protagonists you start with are fantastic. They are really good. They kind of complement each other in a lot of different ways. Their backgrounds and their stories are excellent, and I really love the way that they handled background, because in a lot of games they'll just kind of talk about it and not give you really much context to things and everything. It just kind of, they're obviously doing it for like the feels and that kind of stuff, but this game actually goes back and kind of gives you sometimes a pretty long cutscene of things that happened before the game began, from their childhood or even from other timelines and everything. And it's really interesting to see how they implement that in the game really well. They give you so many like a window of what happened back then, and it gives you enough context to kind of really feel a certain way or anything. They really do it a lot with the characters, and I really love the way they do that, because it does make you feel like you're kind of getting you're at least understanding what's going on with the characters and obviously the story. And yeah, I really love that. I think they did a great job. There's a lot of side characters as well that are really well written, especially later in the story as you meet more of the different characters that you meet, especially a hero quest, because there are a couple of them that are pretty much required. So you do them, and I'm gonna assume the rest of the hero quests are just as good as the ones that you have to do through the story. And that really does also add on to the story. You know, they have likable characters that kind of you meet along the way, and it does kind of feel like their purpose there is to help you guide or like grow and everything. It is very cool that they did that, and it actually really works pretty well for the game as well. Gameplay wise, I've mentioned this plenty of times, so I really don't want to dwell too much on it. It is Xenoblade gameplay. I'm actually not a fan of Xenoblade gameplay. I think that is the weakest aspect of the game, but I don't take any points out of it, because I already played all 3 of the games, to at least the second one to an extent. I have not finished the game, but the gameplay is just the way that it is, and it's really not gonna change, I feel, for the next game. If they do another one of these games, which I'm sure they will, I don't feel like they're gonna change the gameplay. So I kind of had to suck it up and just kind of soak in the story more than anything else. But the gameplay to me is the weakest aspect. I really don't like the way they do the gameplay in any of the games. I don't like automatic attacks and then you wait for a cooldown and press the button and everything. Although there are some pretty cool aspects that they added into this game, such as the interlinks, where 2 characters kind of combine together to form this giant fusion monster looking person. I don't know how to explain it. You can see it on the screen, I guess. And those are cool. I think those are easily one of the coolest aspects of the game. They also added class changes, which is very much a Dragon Quest or an early Final Fantasy thing. You could do that a lot in those games, and it's obviously here as well, which is cool. You know, there's a lot of different classes that you can meet along the way, like I said, with the heroes and how that is implemented. It does kind of give you a good opportunity or a good reason to do those quests because you unlock different classes, and every class plays very differently. Although you can have a healer, there are like 4 or 5 different healers, and they all do things very different from one another. They're not all exactly the same way, and I really like that because so many games just have the healer or this one character that does the one thing and that's it. This game does give you a lot of variety as far as like what support or healing can be, besides just the actual healing, and that is actually really good that they did that, because it does give you that control that you can kind of seek out more than just the typical RPG healer mechanics and that kind of stuff. So I really like that. There are a lot of other things that they added from previous games, from the previous Xenoblade games, and that are here still. And overall, I think the gameplay works well, and I'm sure Xenoblade fans that already like the gameplay are gonna be ecstatic about it, or if they already finished it, I'm sure they're enjoying the gameplay the way it is. And that's one of those things where like I cannot fault it, because I know there's a lot of fans that do enjoy the gameplay, and they do enjoy, because there is a certain side of complexity to it. There is this special critical attack you can do at some point when you have this meter, and when you do it, there you can do different combos, and you can end up doing amazing tons of damage, which can, you know, make or break the game and the experience to it. So yeah, I mean, I'll say there's a lot of stuff that I'll say I actually did enjoy from the gameplay, but the core gameplay, the core aspects of what makes Xenoblade is the stuff that I don't like. So that's how I gotta leave it there, but I think it's still really good. The final notes here, just not spoilers, but I really like the way that the villains were portrayed and displayed. To an extent, there are 2 that are really good. Without in the context, M and M, if you know what I'm talking about, those M and N, those were cool, and they were really layered. They were really interesting how they did that. However, anything else besides that, like the consoles and or more Mobius, I was gonna say Morbius, however you want to call them, they were just faceless individuals, although there are some that are obviously tied to the main story and everything like that. So cool, but at the same time, most of them didn't do anything for me. They were just kind of boring, and the main bad guy turned out not very good. I think it was just kind of okay. And that did deter my experience a little bit. That did kind of drag some points for me down, because I thought there was a good opportunity here when it came to that stuff, and I think that that opportunity was missed with the villain. I think that some of the other villains were cool, but the main villain, main baddie of the game and everything, it was interesting, but it's definitely something that's been done before. Something that if you're a fan of this kind of games, like RPGs and stuff, it's nothing new or anything. The concept of it is interesting, but it's again also something that's been done plenty of times before. For example, when I was playing the game, a lot of people were calling the character from like from another Shin Megami Tensei game or Persona, which they do have a similar villain on that game as well. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm like, okay, you know, like it was just kind of okay in that regard, right? Anyway, thank you so much for watching this, guys. I'm gonna give this game a 9 out of 10. I think it was great. It was probably one of the best games of the year so far. Of everything that I played and I talked in this channel, I think this is gonna be one of the strongest aspect of everything. Definitely a game that I'm gonna say pretty good. If you're looking for a new JRPG, or you're looking for something different that is not the same as every JRPG or stuff, I think this has a good story, solid gameplay from what I can tell with other people that tell me that. So check it out, guys. I encourage you to check this game out. If anything, if there's one JRPG that you should play this game this year, I think it should be this one right here, because it is worth a try, and it's worth getting involved with the story and the characters and everything, because it was really well done. I really did enjoy everything. Graphics, music is fantastic like always. It does have the whole packet and everything. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this, guys. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.